Hello! Welcome to Talk Emma Learn English. Here, we learn English by talking, listening, and practicing together.
Hi, everyone. It's really good to have you with us today. How are you feeling right now?
Before we start learning, let me ask you something simple. How was your day?
Because learning English is not just about grammar. It's about your day, your mood, your life.
Exactly. Maybe you had a busy day, maybe a tired day, or maybe a good one with tea, coffee, or a small smile.
For me, it was one of those days where you plan a lot and finish only half.
That sounds very human and very familiar.
Yes, and that's why today's topic is important, because we talk about plans all the time.
Plans, decisions, future thoughts.
Things like, what will I do? What am I going to do?
And many learners ask us this question again and again.
Yes, what is the difference between will and going to?
If this question lives in your mind, you're not alone.
Most English learners feel confused here.
They know both are about the future, but they don't know when to use which one.
And sometimes they stop speaking because they're afraid of choosing the wrong one.
So let us say this clearly right now.
Making mistakes here is normal.
Very normal.
Yes, even native speakers don't think about rules all the time.
They feel the situation.
And today, we'll help you feel it too.
But before we slowly move into the lesson,
We have a small request.
if you enjoy learning English in a calm, friendly way,
If this podcast helps you feel more confident,
please like this episode and subscribe to Talk Emma.
it really supports us.
And it helps us continue making real-life English podcasts for you.
All right, now let's begin slowly.
Okay, let me ask you something simple.
Okay.
Right now, do you know what you'll eat for dinner?
Good question.
See?
I think yes. I'm planning pasta tonight.
Planning already?
Yes, I bought everything in the morning.
Interesting. So listen carefully to this sentence.
I'm going to eat pasta tonight
That sounds very natural.
because the plan already exists.
Exactly. Now, let me change the situation.
Okay,
Imagine you didn't plan anything. You're just talking.
all right.
And suddenly you say,
I think I'll eat something light tonight.
perfect. Did you notice the difference?
Yes, one was planned, one was decided in the moment.
And that is the heart of today's topic.
Not rules first, feeling first.
So let's make it very clear.
We use going to when a plan already exists.
A decision made before speaking.
Something you already thought about.
For example, I'm going to start exercising next week.
That means the idea is already in your mind.
Maybe you even bought shoes.
Or watched YouTube videos about workouts.
Yes. Now compare that with will.
We use will for instant decisions.
Decisions made at the moment of speaking.
Like when the phone rings,
And you say,
I'll answer it.
you didn't plan it.
It just happened.
Let's take another example.
Okay,
You're sitting at home, your friend says, I'm thirsty.
and you reply,
I'll get you some water.
that's not a plan.
That's a spontaneous decision.
So here, will feels right.
Now let's talk about promises.
Ah, yes, very important.
When we promise something,
We usually use will,
like, I'll help you tomorrow.
or I won't forget.
Promises live in will.
Now predictions.
Good point.
When we predict something based on opinion, we often use will.
For example, I think it will rain today.
But if you see dark clouds,
Then you say, it's going to rain.
because you see evidence.
So again, feeling, situation, context.
Not memorizing grammar tables.
That's why we say English is not about pressure
It's about clarity.
and practice.
Small practice every day.
Now that we understand the basic feeling of will and going to, let's talk about real life, because that's where learners usually get confused.
Yes, especially when they start thinking too much. They pause, they translate in their head, and suddenly the conversation feels heavy.
Exactly. English should not feel heavy. It should feel like talking about your day, your plans, your thoughts.
Let's imagine a very normal situation. You're at home in the evening, sitting on your sofa, scrolling on your phone.
And suddenly you remember, tomorrow is Monday.
That feeling alone changes everything.
It really does. Now, in that moment, you say something like, I'm going to wake up early tomorrow.
Because you already know it. You already accepted it. Your mind prepared for it.
Yes, that's going to, a future plan already living in your head.
Now, imagine a slightly different moment. Your phone rings, and it's your friend.
They say, can you help me tomorrow morning?
And without planning, without thinking too much, you reply, "Okay, I'll help you."
That answer came from the moment, not from a plan.
And that's why will sounds natural there.
This is where many learners struggle, because both sentences talk about the future.
But the feeling behind them is different.
Let's talk about another common situation, work.
Ah, yes, work conversations confuse people a lot.
Imagine your manager asks you in the morning, what are you doing this afternoon?
And you already know your schedule.
You say, I'm going to attend a meeting at 3 p.m.
Because it's planned, it's written, it's decided.
Now imagine something changes.
The meeting gets canceled.
Your manager looks at you and says, okay, what will you do now?
And you answer, I think I'll finish my report.
See the difference?
One was fixed, the other was decided in the moment.
And this happens every day in real life.
Yes, in offices, homes, shops, conversations with friends.
Let's talk about offers, another big area.
Very important.
Imagine your friend looks tired.
You notice it,
You don't plan anything, you just feel it.
and you say, I'll make you some tea.
That sentence feels warm.
Because will is very natural for offers.
It sounds caring.
Now let's flip the situation.
You already planned something.
You invited your friend earlier.
You bought snacks.
You prepared everything.
And you say, I'm going to make tea for you.
Both sentences are correct, but the situation changes the choice.
That's why memorizing rules alone never works.
Learners need to see the situation.
Feel the moment. Now let's talk about mistakes, because mistakes are part of learning.
Yes, and many learners fear them too much.
Some learners think, if I choose the wrong one, people will judge me.
But that's not real life.
In real life, people understand your meaning.
They don't stop the conversation to correct grammar.
They focus on communication.
So if you say, I will go to the gym tomorrow,
When you actually planned it earlier,
it's not wrong in communication.
it may not be perfect grammar style, but it's understandable.
And confidence matters more than perfection.
Exactly.
Now let's talk about predictions, because this is another confusing area.
Yes, predictions depend on evidence or opinion.
Imagine you look outside. The sky is dark. Clouds are heavy.
You feel rain in the air. You say, it's going to rain, because you see it.
Now imagine a different moment. You're just talking. No clouds, no signs.
You say, I think it will rain later.
That's your opinion, not evidence.
So again, feeling, situation, context.
Let's bring this closer to daily life.
Yes, because learners want English for real conversations.
Imagine you're learning English seriously.
You say to yourself, I'm going to practice English every day.
That's a plan.
But one day you feel lazy.
You're tired.
You say, okay, I'll practice for just 5 minutes.
That decision happened in the moment.
Both sentences are honest,
Both are real.
and both use the future differently.
This is how English lives in real life.
Now that we've talked about plans, decisions, offers, and predictions, let's look at the mistakes learners make again and again with will and going to.
Yes, because understanding the idea is one thing, but using it while speaking is a different story.
Exactly. Many learners freeze in the middle of a sentence.
They stop, they think, and the conversation loses its rhythm.
Let's talk about the first common mistake, using will for everything.
I hear this a lot. Learners say, I will go to the market tomorrow. I will meet my friend later. I will study English tonight.
And technically, people understand them.
Yes.
But it doesn't always sound natural, because in most of these cases, the plan already exists.
The decision was made earlier.
So going to fits better in many daily situations.
For example, I'm going to meet my friend this evening.
That sounds relaxed,
Natural.
like real life.
The problem is, learners think will sounds more advanced.
Yes, they feel will is stronger English.
But native speakers don't think like that.
They think in situations, not rules.
Now let's talk about the second mistake, using going to for sudden decisions.
This one creates awkward moments.
Imagine someone drops their phone, you see it fall, and you say, I'm going to help you,
It sounds strange.
because the moment already passed.
The decision is instant, so will feels more human there. I'll help you. Quick, natural.
The language matches the moment.
Now let's talk about emotions, because emotions change grammar choices too.
Very true.
Imagine you're angry.
You just had an argument.
You say, I'll never talk to him again.
That sentence comes from emotion, not planning.
Exactly. That's why will is used.
Now imagine a calmer situation.
You've thought about it for days.
You say, I'm going to change my job.
That sounds thoughtful.
Prepared.
So emotions matter.
Tone matters.
And context matters.
Another common mistake is overthinking while speaking.
Yes, learners stop enjoying the conversation.
They ask themselves, is this will or going to? What is correct? What is the rule?
But real conversations don't wait.
People speak first, they think later.
And that's okay.
That's how fluency grows.
Let's give a simple tip to our listeners.
A very important one.
If the plan already lives in your head, use going to.
If the decision is born in the moment, use will.
Don't search for perfection.
Search for connection.
Now let's practice with a small story.
Yes, stories help memory.
Imagine it's Sunday evening.
You're sitting at home.
You look at your calendar.
You say, I'm going to wake up early tomorrow.
Now suddenly your phone rings.
Your friend says, I need help right now.
And you reply, okay, I'll come.
2 futures, 2 feelings, 1 conversation. That's real English.
Let's also talk about confidence.
Because grammar alone doesn't build confidence.
Confidence comes from speaking
From making small mistakes.
and continuing anyway.
So if you ever say the wrong one,
Don't stop.
don't apologize too much.
Just keep going,
Because fluency is movement.
not perfection. Now we'll bring everything together with longer conversations
Daily life examples.
and clear habits you can use from today.
Now that we've talked about rules, situations, mistakes, and feelings, let's help people actually use will and going to in real life.
Yes, because knowledge without use stays stuck in the head. And English needs to come out of the mouth.
Naturally.
calmly.
without fear.
Let's start with daily morning situations.
Good idea.
You wake up. You look outside.
Dark clouds everywhere.
You say, "It's going to rain today,"
Why?
because you see evidence.
You're not guessing randomly.
Now your phone buzzes,
Your friend messages, "I forgot my umbrella."
and you reply, "Don't worry, I'll bring one for you."
That decision happens in the moment.
No planning, just kindness,
This is how grammar follows life.
not the other way around.
Now let's talk about work and study situations.
Very important for beginners.
Imagine you're talking to your colleague.
You already decided last night.
You say, "I'm going to finish this report today."
Clear plan.
But suddenly your boss walks in.
She says, "We need help with this file right now."
You reply, "I'll help you."
Quick decision. Natural English. Now let's talk about emotional future statements.
These are powerful.
Someone hurts you. You say, "I'll never forget this."
Strong emotion, not a calm plan.
That's why will fits.
But later, when you're calm,
You might say, "I'm going to focus on myself now."
that sounds mature, thoughtful, planned.
English reflects your emotional state.
That's why memorizing rules alone doesn't work.
You must feel the sentence.
Now let's help our listeners build a habit.
A simple daily habit.
Every night, ask yourself 2 questions.
First question, what am I already planning for tomorrow?
Use going to.
Second question, what might happen suddenly?
Use will.
Say the sentences out loud,
Even if you're alone,
especially if you're alone.
your brain needs practice, not pressure.
Now let's do a longer mini conversation.
Yes, this will help flow.
Imagine 2 friends talking in the evening.
One says, "What are your plans for the weekend?"
The other replies, "I'm going to visit my parents."
Then suddenly the phone rings.
A friend says, "We need help moving tomorrow."
Response, "Okay, I'll come after lunch."
Both futures in one conversation.
No confusion.
Just context,
That's the secret word today, context.
not grammar fear.
Before we finish, let's talk about confidence one last time.
Yes, this matters. If you mix will and going to sometimes, it's okay. People still understand you.
Communication comes first,
Perfection comes later.
and sometimes never,
And that's perfectly fine.
because real English is flexible.
Alive, human. So remember, plans, going to.
Instant decisions, will.
Evidence, going to. Promises, offers, emotions, will.
That's enough to start speaking today.
Not tomorrow, not next week.
Today. And if this podcast helped you feel even a little more confident,
Please support us. Subscribe to the channel, like this episode, and share it with someone who's learning English like you.
your support helps us create more real, simple, human English conversations.
We are not here to teach perfect English.
We're here to help you use English.
With confidence, with clarity, and with courage.
See you in the next episode.
Until then, keep speaking. Bye, everyone.